The Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Suns star turns 37 in September. Could be traded any moment. Yesterday on McAfee, our Shams Charania laying out the scenarios that are currently in play.
The Suns know if they're going to trade Kevin Durant, they clearly have a price threshold they want met. And I had one team tell me today, it's kind of a game of chicken at this point. From the Rockets to the Heat to the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's literally one or two pieces away, either which way, that can get a deal done. But at the end of the day, one of these teams has to meet that threshold to get something done. The NBA draft is about a week away, so could this go into the NBA draft? For sure. But I don't think the Suns wanted to. I don't think the other teams wanted to. You want to get those deals done. So my understanding is they're in active conversations with those three teams specifically.
Let's be very clear. The NBA draft is Wednesday, so they don't want it to get to that. And that means we're
305 UD? 305? No? Can you comment? No comment. No comment, UD. Don't say anything.
Is he allowed to comment?
I don't know.
I'll be around.
I'll be around.
Okay. Well, let me start with you, Jay, because of all your connections and all that kind of stuff with Kevin over the many years. Like, what is your sense of where Shams is giving us is certainly making it feel as though, no, he's accurately reporting that this thing is imminent.
Yes.
What are we hearing?
Well, first off, I think that the largest thought on the topic is that the value that the league signals for KD is not the value that KD and his team have for himself currently, right? And I think the market has kind of been a little bit dropped down, but okay, like, hey, this is the reality of what the KD trade value really is. So now you have the three teams that want to play in that realm. I still say I think Minnesota is the right fit for him because of how he can play alongside with Anthony Edwards. The reason why it's imminent, Greeny, you have to get this done now. This is the maximum value you're going to get for KD, and you cannot risk, for as much as KD likes to hoop in the offseason and work out, you cannot risk an injury. Because if there's an injury at the age of 37, his value then goes down. You have to trade him now. You have to.
I see you nodding along, Udonis. To whatever degree you are allowed to comment, what are your thoughts on this?
I definitely think, I agree with Jay Will. I think it's something that you want to get done early. You want to definitely get them in the locker room. You want to get them around your guys. And I look at all those different teams, and I look at what Houston was able to do last year, having the fourth-ranked defense. I look at, how far Minnesota was able to go the last couple years, and also look at the locker room of the Miami Heat. And I'm honest, all of those situations could work. I think it's really going to come down to what Kevin Durant wants to do, and also what is the extension going to look like. You don't want to get him for just 1 year. You don't want to just gamble for 1 year. You want to put in a situation where you have a good 2-3 year window to win the championship. So all those young teams and all those teams have culture. All those teams have good coaching. So there's a situation where a guy like Kevin Durant could just come in and be Kevin Durant and hoop, and doesn't have to have the pressure of being the leader and all those different things. He just beats Kevin Durant. He beats 50 from the field, 40 from three, and 90 from the free throw line, and just be himself. Yeah, see, I'm stuttering a little bit because I don't want to talk too much about the Heat. I gotta be careful. I gotta tiptoe.
I hear you. No, listen, Keith, we did the essay the other day. There's only one player ever to average 25 points on 50-40 shooting for 3 consecutive seasons. That player is KD, and that streak is active. Like, it's the last 3 years. He is not slowing down. Reports of his demise have been greatly exaggerated. So with that thought in mind, Keith, what should happen here? What are you watching for on KD in the next day or two?
I'm just watching for where he go. If you ask me, well, first let me shout out my OG. Let me say what's up to my OG because I didn't get a chance to start off this segment. OG, what's the deal, man? How you doing?
I'm good. See you on this side, man. It's all right over here.
Yeah, it's all right. So secondly, I'm going with the Heat, man. I think, my personal opinion, right? Playing for Spoelstra, and this is not a knock on the other coaches that I've played for. But the little bit of games that I played there, it was the best brand of basketball that I have played in my career, right? And I think KD goes over there and he's going to be the scorer they need to get over the hump, right? Miami never really has the big name guys other than obviously, 2011 and those years. They still make it work, right? And KD's going to go over there and fit into a culture that has a bunch of young guys playing hard. You go over there and make the trio of him, Bam, and Tyler. And I think, being in the East is wide open. They can get something done over there.
The shamelessness of Udonis is not lost on any of us. Alan.
Is it tampering if you just do a thumbs up? I don't think so. Look, if you look at the three situations, it's really what does Kevin Durant want? Because the best situation to win and win big is Minnesota, especially pairing him up with Anthony Edwards. If you put him in Houston, he might be asked to be a leader. Is that really what you want to do? It's a very young team, although Ime Udoka and he have a great relationship, and they just took care of Udoka for long term. Miami is a very interesting one because, number one, you get back east. Is there an easier road to success in the Eastern Conference? And we all know what these guys both talked about, heat culture and the difference it can make for a player at his age.
All right, so we'll see what winds up happening again. Shams making it feel as though this thing is imminent. In the meantime,
next week, Durant is on the trade market. The Suns are very active on the trade market. Greeny, I have been talking about the triangle for months, the Durant triangle, the alignment that you need of a place that Durant wants to go, a trade that comes back that the Suns will do, and a contract understanding. Either the team trading for him, being comfortable with him on a one-year deal, or the willingness to give a 37-year-old a 2-year, $100+ million contract extension. And I know the way Mad Dog has referred to this. He seems to think that it's most important that Durant agrees and that the Suns are trying to make Durant happy. That's not it. That part of the triangle is predicated on the team making an offer if Durant doesn't want to be there. If you think Durant's going to be a rental, you are offering less. The Suns want a premium price, and that's why they've been trying to work with Kevin Durant, and that's why that's a key thing to watch in the next few days.
And if you saw, that's the interesting piece of it here. And if you saw Shams yesterday on McAfee's show, he said neither the Suns nor most of the other teams want this to make it to the draft. They want this deal done ASAP. The draft begins on Wednesday, so this is imminent here. Let me start with you, Markeith. Tell me where you'd like to see Kevin Durant be playing by the time we get to this time next Friday.
Me personally, same thing I said earlier. I would like him to be playing South Beach, man. I think it sets up perfectly to be on a team with guys like Bam Adebayo that does it all, right? The culture of winning in Miami. You have another elite scorer in Tyler Hero, but he could step right in and be the ultimate scorer that he has been, right? And there's no shots at other coaches. For the little bit of time that I played in Miami, that was the best brand of basketball that I've been a part of. Spo does a great job of getting the best out of guys, and I think that's the perfect spot for him, man. The East is wide open, and, you know, he can flourish there.
I just hope that UD's smile alone is not considered tampering. I think that would be my only concern here. UD, I don't know exactly what you're allowed to say about this, but what are your thoughts on Kevin Durant? He'll be 37 in September with the opportunity to get traded here in the next couple days.
The three teams that I'm hearing Houston, I'm hearing Minnesota, and obviously we're here in Miami. And I look at all three of those situations, and I see a situation that can work for KD. You look at a team in, Houston, where there's a young team, but they were top of the West last year. They had the 4th-ranked defense. He can come in. Ime Udoka is definitely the leader of that young squad. They're building a culture there, so he can come in, just fall in line, and just be who KD is. You look at Minnesota, you put them next to Ant-Man. This is a team who, I feel like last year or 2 years ago, they went to the Western Conference Finals, and then this particular season, they didn't get it done, but it was obvious and more glaring this particular playoffs that they needed another scorer next to Ant-Man. And then you look at the Miami Heat, you look at the growth of Bam Adebayo, you look at the growth of Tyler Hero, and you look at Spoelstra, who is, in my opinion, the best coach in the league right now, and he can come into a situation where there's a culture. They're going to push him. But he can be comfortable. He can be your favorite player's favorite player and just be Kevin Durant. Give you that 50, 40, and that 90 from the free throw line and just be a hell of a ball player.
What do you think, Alan?
I love UD's nicknames for coaches.
Yes.
What was that one?
Spoelstra Nostra.
It's just fantastic. And we had Tricky Ricky earlier. For Kevin Durant, it's got to end up being what's best, the best place to go to win versus the best place for him to go where he wants to go. This is going to be a compromise. It has to be, because if I'm Tim Connolly in Minnesota, I know that I'm a Final Four team the last 2 years. I get a guy like this, put him with Anthony Edwards. I could be a team that finally breaks through and gets to an NBA Finals with a finisher like him. But does he want to be in Minnesota? So I'm not paying a high premium when it comes to a trade price, on top of the fact that I might have to also give him a contract extension. So if you're there, you're waiting that one out. And then Houston, they're going to ask him to be a leader. Is that what he really wants to be at this point of his career? Than just a guy that can come in and be a finishing piece. I think Minnesota just feels like the best situation, but does Kevin Durant want to go to Minnesota?
Wendy, how do you handicap it?
I think Houston is the team that can make the best trade and also is the best spot for Durant, and there's a connection there with Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka was an assistant coach for Brooklyn when KD was there. If Durant ends up in Houston, I think you've got a serious contender in the Western Conference there. However, Houston is really not motivated to dip into the stash of picks that they have. Specifically, guys, they have 2 future Phoenix Suns draft picks. That's what the Suns want back. They literally want some of the stuff back that they traded for Durant. The Rockets went out and acquired that stuff from Brooklyn with the possibility of making a Durant trade. But they don't want to pay that price right now. And they're basically wagering that the Suns' price will come down and they will make the deal. There's also the possibility, I should bring this up, that the Suns will get to Wednesday night and not like any of this and just hold on to him. Season doesn't start in 2 weeks. The offseason is starting now. They could just hold on to him, move past the draft, and see if situations change. I don't think that's what they want to do, but I don't think they also want to take a less than a premium offer for a prized future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, be interesting. And could it go into the summer? Could it go into the season? Could it go all the way to the trade deadline? Kevin Durant is clearly the biggest piece to be keeping an eye on as we head into the offseason. Meanwhile, our next WNBA game.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.